All right, I think it's working. Can you guys hear me and see me? Because this thing is really freaking kind of out to lunch. I hope you guys and girls can hear me and see me. So anyway, look, guys, if you can, this is my post-market wrap-up. Friday, May 16th, 2025. Yes, no, maybe. What are we doing, guys? Just let me know. Can anyone hear me? And thank you. All right, guys, you're awesome. This thing scares me a little bit. Listen, we got to talk, guys. I Look, man. How do I say this? It's coming apart, and I'm talking about the economy here. And there's no accent here. The jobs numbers are miserable. The inflation numbers are miserable. People cannot survive. We hear from the Federal Reserve telling us about potential sudden shocks to the economy. You got Fed President Williams talking about how people are cracking, the consumer is cracking. I mean, they keep track of this stuff and they're laughing. They're laughing at us. And you can't make this stuff up, but that's really what's happening here. The deals that aren't, we're not getting anything done. Look, man, even those with good intentions, let's just say, all right, that President Trump here has good intentions. It's not working. It's not working. Um, and it's about to get a lot worse starting June 1st. Starting, we haven't even seen it yet. June 1st, we're going to start to get hit with there's the issues with tariffs on a big scale. And then progressing from that, we're going to end up seeing issues with supply chains. Don't take my word for this. This is the Federal Reserve saying the same thing. They look, man, we have been lied to. We've been twisted around and we've been told that this is temporary and transitory, but now they confess. They confessed yesterday. The Federal Reserve confesses that this is not going to be temporary. It's not going to be transitory. We can expect a higher cost of living moving forward. People, I'm not making this stuff up. We cover this stuff every day. I provide stuff for you like these things in your inbox. If you subscribe to my newsletter, guys, man, I don't know what to say. But again, let's just say, look, man, let me just say this too. When I come out here and I did the same thing to Biden. I am an equal opportunity truth teller. I wiped the floor with Biden and Obama and Trump doing his first term. And I'm doing it now because I'm telling you, look, man, I don't give a damn. And let's just say if Trump has good intentions, even if it's true, it's not working. What else can I tell you guys and girls? I don't know what to say, man. Everything in play right now is not working to help the economy. It certainly is propping up the stock market. Do you notice something that's gone silent here? Okay. President Trump talking about a weaker dollar, talking about, well, it's not really gone silent, but it has seriously dropped. Talking about a weaker dollar, talking about lower rates. Why? Because we discovered something, and I'm going to cover this for you right now. I have the proof that the Fed is in here right now, just started with new stealth or secret QE. The proof is always out there. Now, with regard to this market, let me just say this: the stock market did put on some gains today. Nothing major, less than a percent, pretty much across the board, about 0.7% for all of the major indexes here. All right, nothing really going on. The 10-year yield, okay, just slightly lower, nothing major going on than earlier today. The dollar did put on a little bit, okay, with relative strength. Cryptocurrencies, I don't have a printout, like I said. The cryptocurrencies did put on some gain. Gold and silver did get hit, nothing major going on here. This is a normal pullback, and that's not even a pullback. We need this to fall a little bit, Mitch. Thank you. Exactly. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. No doubt about it. We need to see some results here, and we're not going to. We're being set up. And I'm glad that Mitch brought that up. Maybe I'll just look, if I flip this around and say, look, I'm not out here to pick on any particular people here, but when you got such kind of pushback from a certain group of people, I call them the red hats, they just refuse to see anything here. Everything is just the greatest, and it's just not. And they refuse to admit what they know in their hearts. And that to me, that's devilism, man. Go against what your spirit is telling you, what your soul is telling you, what your alignment with God is, and you come out here spewing this kind of garbage. This is devilism. I don't know another way to put it. In my view, it's a form of devilism. So, but anyway, look. So with that said, we can say that Trump has good intentions, which I don't believe is true. Maybe they all do. Hold on a minute here. I believe that an event occurs when any supposed presidential candidate, starts to get serious about running. They're all vetted. They're all vetted behind closed doors on Wall Street. You don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. There's no minutes. There's no photographs. There's no press. There's no nothing. They're the ones who really pull the strings, who let us know who's supposed to be our next, worshipful leader here. I mean, come on, guys. So anyway, with regard to the jobs numbers and the inflation numbers and everything that they're telling us here, the consumers cracking, shocks to the economy, I want to just cover a few things here with regard to some more economic news. I mean, and it's not, you know what bothers me? You know what bothers me about this stuff? Nothing here is going to surprise you. Because you and I, again, we've been light years ahead of the curve. We call this stuff years before it's actually happened. Greg, you're wrong. I'm gonna prove you're wrong. But invariably, look, man, I don't know everything. But 90% of the time, I mean, those of you who have been with me, you got to say that we're right 90% plus. And that's not because we're any smarter, or certainly I'm not any smarter, but I study this stuff. I look where people are not supposed to look, and then I share it with all you guys. So with regard to this, and let me just show you again, look, consumer sentiment falls for fifth straight month as inflation worries grow. People cannot survive. They're getting crushed. We're not returning purchasing power to the currency. In fact, it's being devalued more because of direct action by the Federal Reserve. And this is why I think President Trump has shut his mouth. There's no way that we know what I'm going to cover right now. There's no way that President Trump doesn't know. You understand? There's no way he doesn't know. So if we know, he knows. And that may actually make it even worse. So consumer sentiment falls, 5 straight months, inflation creeping higher. Here we go, another one here. This is Reuters. I'll read this in a minute. So you got U.S. single-family housing starts drop as import prices rise. Basically, the cost for goods is further pricing people out of the market. You can't make it up. How about this one here? Imported goods costs showing signs of tariff-related price pressure. And we haven't even begun to see it, man. It's about to get worse. Here, we're going to have a little fun. So for those of you that may get offended, please just relax a second. President Trump is saying that countries will soon get letters detailing their tariff rates. Now, President Trump might have forgotten that 6 weeks ago, he sent these same letters out, even to penguins and seals. So he must have forgotten that he did send these letters out. This is today. Okay, they're going to soon get their letters. He already sent them out, even to penguins and seals. Maybe there's something cognitive going on in there. I don't know. You guys and girls let me know. I've been defending President Trump. I've been defending him on one thing. Okay, what have I been defending him about? President Trump does seem somewhat confused. You listen to him talk, he kind of goes off in space, sometimes says things that aren't right. And I believe what I'm telling you with all my heart and spirit. They are told a script. Maintain this narrative. Once they waver from that, they get confused. I don't think that was Biden's fault. Honestly, Biden was suffering from age-related dementia. I hate using that word, but I think that's what was going on. President Trump isn't. I really believe he gets confused, and he does all the freaking time. You guys and girls see it. I'm not making it up. Even those of you that support the man, you got to admit he gets confused. He gets confused because he's going off script. He's not allowed to go off script. Anyway, look. So these gains that we've been seeing in the market here, how about this? So Dow has now erased all losses for fifth straight gain. But why? Well, I have the proof right here as to what's going on. Again, in your inbox, if you subscribe to my newsletter, a couple things I want to cover with you. Lions, you're not supposed to know this, but here you are. And I will ask for your comments. So I wrote, Lions, please look this. You see these highlighted things? I don't make these red for no reason. You see the click? It's telling you to click here. Look, let's just do this together. The Federal Reserve in just over 4 days bought up, click, on the red here, um, 43.6 billion in US treasuries and that 8.8 billion in long-dated 30-year bonds on May 8th alone, plus another 34.8 billion earlier in the week, quietly returning to quantitative easing. Now, I put these links here not so you could look at it, because I actually had someone say, well, Greg, where's the proof? The proof is there's the links. Click on the links and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. You see arrows and everything. It's there for you. I don't do this for fun. It's for you. All right. So that's what's going on here. The Fed has started QE. Now let's dig deeper. Here's what it really means. The Treasury market is obviously fracturing. It's been fracturing. It's breaking apart. It's a time bomb. It's coming apart. But the Fed is in here buying it all. They didn't make any announcement about it. The Fed's doing it. This is called stealth or secret QE. The Fed doesn't buy 43.6 billion in treasuries in 4 days unless liquidity is drying up. Does that sound familiar to you? I don't think there's another guy screaming from rooftops more than me about how liquidity is drying up, and it's drying up fast. Now that 8.8 billion in 30-year bonds, it's not random, people. It's not random. They're propping up the long end of the curve. Now, translation, no buyers are left. The Federal Reserve and every central bank, especially the Federal Reserve, has one goal and one goal only: to own it all, to be the lender and buyer of last resort. I've been telling you guys this for 10 years, more than 10. Now, foreign buyers are pulling back. Not only, I didn't write this here, but foreign buyers are not just pulling back, they're dumping. They're dumping debt. The world is de-dollarizing. There's so many facets to this. You guys and girls are all aware of it. You all know it. So anyway, foreign buyers are pulling back. U.S. demand is weak. It's non-existent. The Fed's buying it all. So the Fed is now, as we know, the lender and the buyer of last freaking resort. Now, again, what are they doing here, people? What the Fed is doing is called monetizing the debt. Are we on the same page? They are suppressing yields artificially. What does that mean? Well, they're injecting liquidity into the system. People, this is the definition of quantitative easing. It's the definition of quantitative easing. But did you hear this from, I don't know, one of the mainstream media outlets? No, they won't tell you this because they don't think that you are worthy of it. They think you're too dumb and too stupid to understand what's actually going on, but it couldn't be more easy to understand. The Fed is monetizing the debt, pumping liquidity into your system, and this is classic quantitative easing being done covertly. Now, why the secrecy? Why the secrecy? Because the moment that the public hears QE, you know what? The public is not that stupid, even though they think they are. The illusion of some kind of normally functioning system just flat out freaking dies. And that's really what's going on here. But it's deeper than that. And I did a little more research. Again, this is in your inbox, people. Look, man, please tell me another guy that's got your back more than I do. You guys got my back. I got yours too. I want to read this to you, and I want you to think about what I am saying here at the next level. We're going to take that, and we're going to bring it to the next level here. All right. So, Lions, stealth QE is just getting started. That just began. This has just started a couple of days ago. It's going to continue here, and you're probably going to hear less calls out of President Trump's beautiful mouth. I can't say pie hole, it's something negative because I'll be attacked. Out of President Trump's beautiful mouth, you're going to hear less calls and demands. You hear less demands for, we need a weaker dollar. We need lower rates. When the Fed is in here now, actually stealth QE in our face, I mean, the proof is there. Okay. Well, what's happening here is it's artificially suppressing rates. It's injecting liquidity into the system. But what is that? That's inflationary. And you're not allowed to know. This is why I need you guys and girls to get the material out there. Share all this stuff that I send to you guys. Share these videos. Comment here. So anyway, Fed stealth QE is just getting started. Now, In, in a previous newsletter today, I was referring to this guy. I covered how over the last 4 days last week, the Federal Reserve purchased 43.6 billion U.S. Treasuries, and this includes 8.8 billion in 30-year bonds on May 8th, and 34 billion in shorter-term Treasuries earlier in the week. Now, these purchases were conducted quietly, without public announcements or press releases. Imagine our shock here. These actions are stealth quantitative easing, injecting liquidity into the financial system without formally announcing anything, because they gotta hide it. Let's move forward. Now, why it matters. Liquidity injection. This is the liquidity injection. We're talking about nearly $50 billion of liquidity injection into the system that no one is supposed to know about. Now, why it matters again, liquidity injection. By purchasing large amount of treasuries, the Fed is injecting liquidity into the financial system, which lowers interest rates. That's why you're not hearing Trump scream about it, and boosts the stock market, as you're seeing here, at a cost. Now, Fed secret QE, the cost. You know what the cost is. I'll tell you at the end. So Fed secret QE. Can you see what I wrote here? Secret QE. Market support. These actions can support financial markets by making it easier for the government to finance its debt. Raymond, thank you. I appreciate you. Obviously, that's what's going on here. That's why we're hearing about we need lower rates and why we, again, this is a zombie. The United States is the same as a zombie corporation. It consumes. That's all it does. It doesn't produce, it consumes. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing right now and why we're witnessing the downfall. It's a corpse that doesn't know it's dead. Let us move forward here. Market support. These actions support the financial markets by making it easier for governments to finance their debt. Now, it's funny. I even wrote it here. Think of the government as a zombie corporation, because that's exactly what it is. Now, a signal to investors. This didn't go unnoticed by me, and it didn't go unnoticed by you. Even without a formal announcement, these actions by the Fed, I didn't write that here, signal to investors that the Fed is willing to step up and step in to support the stock market, which has no connection with reality. And this, of course, can boost confidence. You'll see cash possibly rush into the market. The bigger picture, very easy to see. The Fed's balance sheet stays inflated. They don't want to unwind their balance sheet. Why? Because this approach allows the Fed to rig interest rates and support the stock market without political or public backlash that might come with formal QE announcements. So they're hiding it. And I'm telling you again, how many of you believe that if we know this, President Trump doesn't know this? Do you actually believe that President Trump and those people that that work with him, they don't know what's going on here? Are we to believe that they are that naive? Can someone here explain this to me? Because I'm going to get told I have TDS. I'm going to be told that I have TDS. But tell me, is President Trump so stupid that he doesn't know? Or he does know, but he doesn't want you to know? Or is this just TDS coming out? Can someone here let me know? Lions, this is a silent shift in monetary policy. This is exactly what we're saying it is, people. The Fed is providing support to the financial markets through these large-scale purchases, keeping the illusion alive. The zombie is dead, and it doesn't even know it. Market implications. Let's talk about broader implications. Some of these are very self-explanatory. Let's just cover them. These purchases lead to lower bond yields, making borrowing cheaper. Stock market, increased liquidity can boost stock markets, and investors are seeking higher returns. It can also boost cryptocurrencies. Why? Assets like Bitcoin may benefit, of course, and will, from increased liquidity injections and concerns about traditional currency values, which will drop as a result. People, it's cause and effect. It's cause and effect. Everything in life is pretty much cause and effect. What's next? The cost. The Fed will continue these stealth purchases. And with that, we may see continued support for the financial markets, which is really the bottom line. Soon you're going to hear President Trump say, look at those markets. Look at those markets. Even though the economy is coming apart, he realizes, and I refuse to believe he's this stupid, he knows the Fed is in here. I guarantee you that he talks to Powell on the phone. Powell told him, listen, We're going to start instituting asset purchases. We're not going to announce it. They just did it. Nearly 50 billion in a matter of a few days. These asset purchases are going to push rates lower. It's going to weaken the dollar and it's going to boost the stock market. And Trump just sat there and said, yeah, baby, bring it on. How many of you do not believe that that conversation actually took place? Or is this TDS? Explain this to me. Anyway, the Fed will continue these stealth purchases, and with that, we may see continued support for financial markets. However, what they will never tell you is this: the Fed in here buying debt is inflationary, and in the end, people, we all pay for it, and we're paying for it now. The mechanism here to keep that doorway open for cash to make its way into the stock market. Look, the market don't care about you, don't care about me. All it cares about is providing a way to enrich the already rich and the super rich. They own 90% of the stock market. You and me are nothing. We are a means to an end. They're grinding us into the ground. They don't care what they have to do to us to suck everything out of us. So the 1% and 2%ers, which are the vast minority, think about what I'm telling you, can benefit while you and I pay for it all. Do you see what I'm talking about? The collusion here. Do you not believe everything I said is true when the proof is in your face? Tell me where I got this wrong. Honestly, you're right. 50 billion is nothing. This just started last week. Let's see where this goes. It could be 100 billion. It could be 500 billion. It could be a trillion. So 50 billion is nothing. Are you thinking this is the end now? I love when I get comments like this. Is this the end? That 50 billion, that's all we're going to see? You don't believe we're going to see more stealth QE here? Really, honestly? Because I can't believe anyone here doesn't believe that's true. We all know what's going on. We all understand that the Federal Reserve and central banks around the world do not have a magic wand. They can't just open their mouths and say we're going to keep rates at X. They have to get into the market and make it happen. People, this is basic finance and economics 101. It's central bank economics 101. And I don't think there's a guy in the world who probably studies this stuff more than I do. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Oh, man, I tell you, it's just so sick what's going on here. It really, really is. I don't know. Look, this is what we're going to do, you and I. We're not going to change anything, all right? We're going to continue to bet against the system, becoming our own central banks. They're inflating on a scale that we knew what they would do. They're not done playing with us. They're not done manipulating us here. Let me tell you what's manipulation here. The fact that President Trump today, and I'm not picking on him, I'm really not, is floating out that he's going to now send out a new letter here. Countries assume this is today. 6 weeks ago, the Penguins and the Seals got it, along with all these other nations that he's saying are going to get it too. This is some kind of a strength play. See, President Trump believes and knows that most people have a very, very short memory. They don't remember what happened maybe 2 weeks ago. Forget about 6 weeks ago when he did the same exact thing to Penguins and, of course, Seals. But this is how politicians play with you. They think that you are nothing. They believe that you are a toy and you're not even worthy of surviving. You don't believe what I'm saying? This is TDS. You guys and girls know exactly. I don't remember 15 minutes ago. I'm in the same boat, man. I'm in the same freaking boat. Yeah, exactly. The Queen's got it right. Guys, look, man. I really believe that what we covered here is critically important. I really, really do. And I'm going to ask you guys and girls to do me another favor here. Do you see where I wrote, please read this? Look over here. Can you see this over here? Am I pointing towards the right thing? Do you see that? I want you to click on that. It'll take you to my newsletter because I'm trying to do something. With your help, I can get off YouTube. I don't want to be here anymore. Okay. With your help, we can create a really beautiful place for us to share ideas without scammers, without people that are looking to disrupt. You understand? So go check this out. Now, forget about Rumble. Look at this. This is way, way better than Rumble. Click on that. And I think together we could build something really nice. But I need your help here with this. It's anyway, look, go check that out. Let me know what what you think of that whole thing over there. Guys, listen, before we get out of here, I wasn't even sure I was gonna get this video out, but you guys want to cover anything else before I get out of here? Anything else in particular you want to talk about here before we go? Hippie Jazz Temple. I gotta tell you, man, I love that name. That's a great name. You guys and girls are amazing. We're missing a few regulars here today. Any good news? Yes, Art Van. But you know what? The good news is this, man. We're going to band together and we're going to take advantage of everything that they're trying to do to us. We're going to flip the tables. That's the good news. By staying on top of this, the good news is we can take action. Does that not make sense to people here? It's not going to stop. They see us as nothing but a means to an end. And we're not just a means to an end, you and me, guys and girls. We're not. That's what they think we are. Doesn't that bother you a little bit? It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. It really, really does. Lava's here. Lava, what's going on, man? Everyone here, please listen to me. You want to do the right thing? Subscribe to Lava. All right, if you haven't already. Most of you know how amazing she is. She's incredible. Anyway, guys, I think we're kind of out of here. All right. I love you guys. I mean that. And just because earlier today we did our favorite 3 things doesn't mean we're not going to do it right now, because we are. Ready? Bring it in. Let's do this together, right? Love each other, care about each other, be charitable people. We could change the world. We could change this freaking world if we just embrace these things. And I really believe that we're making a positive difference, people. I swear with all I got. I will see you Sunday, as usual. Check out my newsletter here that I asked you guys and girls, this one here, to look at. Is that working? Check that out. All right. I want to change this thing around, and I think we can. It's just a matter of a little, just a little movement here. All right. That's all. Let's put this week behind us. We'll start again on Sunday. Definitely not, Guy. Yes, we can. You look at this. We can change the world, and we are changing the world. Do you not believe that? We're making a difference. I guarantee you that there are people that have never heard the stuff that we've covered before. They had never heard this before. And they don't, I mean, how many people actually know that this is going on? This stealth QE. Here's all the proof. I mean, look this up. If you subscribe to my newsletter, look that up. It's right here. Click on the links here, and you'll see what I'm talking about is true. I am not making it up. All right, guys, we're out here. I love you. I mean that. Have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow, do something fun. All right, do something fun for yourself, and you'll see me on Sunday. Okay, and I'm looking forward to that. I really am. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Take it easy.